Michael Anthony Kerr is a prisoner in North Carolina with a history of what's called schizoaffective disorder. That's basically a mental illness that features symptoms of both schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. And he was recently taken off of his meds. He was also put in solitary confinement for 45 days, presumably for bad behavior. And then after that, he died. He was unresponsive, so he was taken to the hospital. The hospital was about 3 hours away. At some point during the ride, he passed away. Quote, an autopsy released Thursday finds that he died of thirst, that he had abrasions on his arms consistent with restraint devices, and that key details regarding his death, such as when he last had food or water, were left unanswered by an internal investigation, the Associated Press reports. So the prison is called Alexander Correctional, and it's under investigation not only for this issue, but for other issues. They also beat a man to death after he was acting rowdy and tried to set his cell on fire. But we seem to do stories like this every 6 months or so, and actually a lot of them are coming out of North Carolina specifically, where the entire jail and prison population, it's total mayhem. It's total mayhem over there. There were stories of mentally ill people who would soil themselves and sit in it for days, people not getting showers when they're supposed to get showers, skipping meals, not getting their meds. Even when people begged to get their meds, they weren't given their meds in many situations. So look at this, man. We're talking about in the year 2014 in the United States of America, somebody dies from thirst while in jail, and they're mentally ill, and they were in solitary confinement. Here's the question. Who are the real criminals? It's a sad and depressing and cryptic thing to ask and explore, but I think it's an unavoidable question. Okay? See, this is a problem that human beings have in general. It's not just in the U.S., it's in a lot of places. There are very few places that have risen above this. Maybe in the Scandinavian region they have, but most places they have not. And it's this idea that if we label somebody as bad, as evil, because of something they did, like a crime, and I'm not saying there aren't certain crimes that aren't evil. There are plenty of crimes that I would categorize as evil. But does it necessarily follow that if you're a criminal, if you're in jail or prison, that therefore you're evil? No, not at all. People are locked up for all kinds of reasons. People are locked up for drug crimes, other nonviolent crimes. People are locked up wrongly. People are locked up and they have mental illness and they genuinely can't control their actions because of a brain issue or a chemical imbalance or what have you. Okay, but this is what we do. As human beings, we tend to categorize good, bad, evil, just. And we just act off of those assumptions. So if you already label somebody as evil, as wrong, well then guess what? It doesn't matter what the fuck you do to him because he had it coming. Oh, he was in solitary? Well, there must have been a reason why he was in solitary. Oh, but he was mentally ill? But still, I mean, if they put him in solitary, there must have been a good reason to put him. Oh, he didn't get his meds? Well, I mean, the guy did commit a crime, so maybe he deserves... Oh, he went thirsty and died? Kind of hard to say he had it coming there, right? So here's the sad reality. At a certain point, the people who are supposed to be upholding justice, the people who are supposed to be delivering the sentence that the people agreed to, that the judicial system agreed to, at some point in fringe cases like this, they become the criminals. They become the immoral ones. They become the unethical ones. And guess what? It's not enough to just fire these guys and say, go get a job at Target. They should actually be in jail. When you get to that level of criminal negligence, you belong behind bars. And guess what? When you're behind bars, the rest of us will collectively not be as big of a savage or a barbarian as you, and we will feed you, and we will give you your meds, and we will make sure you don't die of thirst behind bars, which is not what you did for the other mentally ill patient.